3 Americans into the semifinals.
That is pretty exciting.
Probably more exciting for me than for you.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say 3 British players into the semi-finals, am I? If I get to be 100 in the booth, let's face it. But we nearly had 1 in the top 8.
I really thought this was going to be Danny's weekend.
Yep.
Young Danny Gardner.
Yep.
I feel like that's his full name.
Daniel. Yeah, I don't think he's ever been a Daniel since he was about 8. He's a guy who has a lot of confidence.
Day of Judgment clearing away
Yep.
the 2 Noble Hierarchs and the Borderland Ranger.
You see, and now that looks a lot better.
Go from Grafensteiner. We saw Craig was reluctant to path there earlier. Took the damage. Said, I don't think I really want to give you a fix on your mana this early.
Of course, Skyfisher, pick up a planes. Here's a step links. Of course, I now have a planes ready to landfall the step links.
And hold that 4th land back in my hand so I can landfall next turn. Yeah. There's a Stirring Wildwood.
The number 1 of the Manlands, would you say, this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Night of the Reliquary this was its coming out party. You know, I mean, it was one of the big cards this weekend. And Stirring Wildwood just fit perfectly into that package.
So Wesker now goes on offense for the first time here in Game 4. There you see him, the 27-year-old from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Get a Path Exile on the step links.
Yep. Away it goes. The better standard record went to Craig Wesco here this weekend. 8-2 Wesco up against 6-3 and then an ID for Grafensteiner. Taken across the board, though, the junk decks have a pretty good record this weekend against White Weenie, 10-5. But I guess the trick there, BDM, this is not White Weenie that everyone else is running.
This deck does not look like the other White Weenie decks we saw. In fact, I saw it to go 5-0. Craig Wesco was one of a handful of players who went 5-0 on day 1 in Standard, and he had a White Weenie matchup in that round. And it seemed like 2 very, very different decks when you watch them play out.
Sure.
I guess he won.
So Wesco is at 10. Grafensteiner at 19. You see a White Knight come down.
Most people that lose aren't that excited.
It was interesting, as we went to Gertz and Vian, they were talking about LSV doing the sweep. So even while they're trying to play their own quarterfinal, they are aware of the beast in the room.
I think Vian said something to LG. He's like, I'm actually rooting for you.
Okay.
Here's Elspeth.
I have soldiers.
Craig has soldiers with him because he's also playing Elspeth.
I can't prepare it.
So +1, you get a 1/1 white soldier creature. +1 again, you can give a creature +3/+3, and flying. If you ever get to -8, well, that's when everything, including your Christmas tree, your toaster, and your microwave oven, are indestructible.
Although not your Elspeth.
No, indeed.
Which in an interesting loophole.
Which would arguably have been more useful. It's a very lonely place in the quarterfinals when you are the only table left. Everyone has gone away. You know that the focus of the world is right on you, all the judges around, the scorekeepers, and you know this is all about you. Every mistake will be seen and scrutinized by all your friends back at home. There you see the whole arena spread out.
Craig chose to attack Daniel and not Planeswalker. You can hear Daniel say, me?
Yep.
Attack me?
Now, is that genuine surprise, or is that just a little bit of play going on?
Planeswalker's going to give Craig some fits if it sticks around for a while. I think he might be genuinely surprised.
See, I have not played a land this turn, right?
I played a land last time.
No, me.
That's all.
I haven't, right?
It's just confirming that Wesco has not made a land.
I believe I have.
Did I? Didn't I? And this kind of thing gets tricky under the lights as well. Normally, you just play 100 games, you know whether you played a land or not. Here, not so much. Wesco will be looking for an Oblivion Ring to deal with Elspeth. And there we go.
And that's why he didn't attack.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the Sprite Graph side. Like, oh, you have it, huh?
Wheels within wheels. but not for Niels. You can kill me later.
And here comes another core Skyfisher.
Return core Skyfisher.
Yep.
Interesting. Some more mana for Raffensteiner.
And there you see, oh my goodness, that is going on right now. It's a live shot of the rest of the venue. We have so many great things going on out there. We've got the $3,000 draft challenge.
Well, while we're looking at that, by the way, Daniel Graffensteiner has a Maelstrom Pulse for the Oblivion Ring.
Gets Elspeth
He's
back.
unlocked his Elspeth.
So, while these two...
And clicks it up to +3/+3. And is going to threatening to attack Wesco down to 6.
So while these two play for 16 pro points minimum and thousands of dollars, we have people playing for absolutely nothing because they love cracking Magic boosters and having fun. There's a real festival of Magic at these events. If you are within, 12,000 miles of San Juan, I do encourage you to join us at the back end of May 2010.
By the way, I wouldn't say that those players are playing for nothing. That's the $3,000 booster draft challenge.
Oh, that's a lot of that is the draft challenge, but there are people, just going, let's play, let's do some Winston. Shuhei Nakamura's won that event in the past. Finished like 9th at a Pro Tour and then got up on Sunday and went 10-0 in the draft challenge. It is a seriously hot tournament live in the arena. So Wesco down to 6, Grafensteiner at 14. Wesco looking to avoid a scary 5th game. And in come
Attack Elspeth.
the men, and this time, so you don't have the Oblivion. Attack Elspeth. Wesco, deep in thought. How many cards have you got? 5. That is a lot of options there for Wesco. So, does Grafensteiner send out Stirring Wildwood before blocks? Path to Exile, your man land, away you go. You can have a land by all means. Ideally one that isn't 3-4 in reach. Yeah, planes not so significant.
Is there a land off camera? How did he activate that? Oh yeah, there is a land off camera.
Yeah, right up there. There you see Rashad Miller, level 3 judge, bringing us all the action from the floor. Craig Wesco. Runs out, calls Skyfisher, picks up a planes. Still 5 cards in hand. See a Path to Exile there. See a core Skyfisher.
Yep.
Replays land passes. Grafensteiner from Nuremberg, 22. So giving 5 years away to Wesco. And a lot more years of Magic experience. Grafensteiner actually began at FNM in 2002. So I've been playing 8 years now.
Oh, Maelstrom Pulse.
Target.
Strangely enough, I thought I might target your core Skyfisher because that gets 2.
Craig
You
is
have one other card.
Yes.
considering halving his targeted. Nope. Says no.
All
That's
right,
fine. They can go.
I'm gone. So although Craig has the hand, that Elspeth sitting on the board, just as Planeswalkers so often do, is starting to dominate proceedings. 1 card in hand for the junk. That is why junk is junk, so you can play Maelstrom Pulse and do things like that.
For 1, make 1
Token.
token.
So-
I can defend my Planeswalker.
And I do believe that Wesco has drawn Oblivion Ring. That's kind of good news. Not rushing to play it, but here we go. 1, 2, 3.
He's not wasting any time.
Oblivion Ring.
either.
Play a token.
Oh,
Yeah, he gets rid of the token.
Yep.
He's going to attack
Attack Elspeth.
Elspeth.
and
Kill it.
there we go.
And now he can bounce the Oblivion
Skyfisher.
Ring with his Skyfisher. Yeah.
Oblivion Ring is a truly, truly filthy card in many formats. Tomohiro Saito made it dance like almost no one I've ever seen at GP Oakland with Terastodon. He managed to make Terastodon twice off Hypergenesis with Oblivion Ring chicanery.
And he put Terastodon and Oblivion Ring into play, targeted the Oblivion Ring with the Terastodon, targeted the Terastodon with the Oblivion Ring, and shenanigans happened.
Yeah. Utter shenanigans at Grand Prix Oakland. Saito was very excited coming into this weekend. He had made the top 8 at Oakland. He is targeting Player of the Year. He wants to regain the crown that he won a few years back. But not so great this time around. Top 100 though.
Oh, there's Baneslayer Angel.
Big bad Baneslayer in the house. 5/5 flying. Protection from demons and dragons, not terribly relevant here.
But we know there's an Oblivion Ring that Wesco just returned.
Yep. Return to sender. Go away. And still, Grafensteiner looks at his one card in hand.
There's the Dread Statuary.
Hooray!
Oblivion Ring.
Yep. Off we go. And Wesco, although the life totals read 5 to 14, having got rid of Elspeth, it's starting to look favourite again.
Go.
Pass the turn. Noble Hierarch in hand, looks like a Lotus Cobra as well for Grafensteiner. Lotus Cobra is an interesting card. It's a card, Noble Hierarch, when it came out, everyone saw there was a home for it. Lotus Cobra, people, it was a very exciting card, but it took a while for people to kind of work out what you really wanted to do with it.
With Noble Hierarch?
No, with Lotus Cobra.
Lotus Cobra, okay. So he got in for one with his Elspeth token, his Slash token.
The last one. White Knight, Core Skyfisher faces Noble Hierarch, Lotus Cobra, and a 1/1 soldier. Wesco at 3.
Grafensteiner's just playing off the top at this point. He's empty-handed.
Yep, if you're new to the Pro Tour, the term top deck magic means exactly that. I've got nothing in hand. What is on the top of my deck? And some of the great moments in Magic history have come from that card at the bottom of your screen that you cannot yet see.
Craig Wesco's considering his options. Does he want to send in the White Knight?
Both
Want to
players
send in the Dread Statuary?
deep in thought here. 1, 2,
just gonna
3,
send-
4. Statuary.
Activate.
Activate.
Send in everybody in. 8 points of damage.
Now that's interesting. So, I mean, Grafensteiner has to think, all right, so what are you going to do? I mean,
He's going to put the Lotus Cobra away in the Dread Statuary.
sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wesco's at 3 at
Yeah,
this
that's
point.
that's
he
the
took
thing.
He took 2 from the token last turn. I forgot about the Noble Hierarch.
Yeah.
He does not want to chump block with the Noble Hierarch.
And although Wesco has 2 mana available, ultimately, one of those is a fetch land, which would drop him to 2.
Ultimately, it's shut off.
Yeah. So essentially, we are looking at Path to Exile mana up. That is what Grafensteiner has to think about.
What he's thinking about here is maybe chump blocking with the Noble Hierarch. He's got three points of attackers to come back
Have I killed
if
you?
there's no card in Wesco's hand. And that's exactly how he takes it.
Walk here. Take 4.
Take 4. Grafensteiner to 6.
No, the Dread Statuary is still alive.
6.
Wesko lays, so he has second land, but
Is that a bluff on Wesko's part?
wow.
Or does he have the path?
Grafensteiner has Maelstrom Pulse sitting by that Friday Night Magic pen. He is flicking between finger and thumb.
2 cards. 2 cards.
What are they?
Is one
In.
path?
Is one of them path? Yes, one of them is path. Lotus Cobra goes away. Grafensteiner obviously had to fear it, but he would have prayed for it not to be.
This is Craig Wesko through to
Second line. Go to 2.
the semifinals. There's, he can't pulse the White Knight. He doesn't have anything to block the Dread Statuary. He's at 6. Oh, he takes the ring. Right. There's the Baneslayer.
Oh. Now, Wesko 2. Grafensteiner 6. Dread Statuary ready to activate.
Yeah, it's not activating. That
Skyfisher.
Maelstrom Pulse was actually far more exciting than
A little bit of black magic
I was
with the green white.
too focused on the red zone there.
Oblivion Ring is not always forever.
Always try to tuck that Oblivion Ring away as far away from people's peripheral vision as possible.
Yeah.
Your turn.
There's a lot of strange professions that Magic players have. There is a research scientist and psychologist in London who talks about where to put cards for maximum memory retention. And he can put lands in places that you would never think to do, so you always remember your what order you want to tap things in and so on.
Go.
A Meria Angel. So we have the pair now for Grafensteiner. Baneslayer and a Meria.
Oh, and then a top deck right back for Craig Wesko.
What have we got? What have
The best
we
possible
got?
card in this
I think those
scenario.
laughs are what I drew. Better lucky than good, I guess, right?
Better lucky than good. What is it? Grafensteiner just sits with his arms folded.
Game judgment.
Day of Judgment. Wow.
So he's got 11 points of damage to deal with that Dread Statuary.
Your turn.
Before Grafensteiner climbs back in, there's a Noble Hierarch.
Okay, attack.
Yep.
In comes the Statuary.
You're at 7.
Yes.
Down to 7 because he can afford one hit from a Hierarch. Exalted would be 1. Makes Steplings.